Eric Burgess here. Find the percentile rank for each test score in the data set. And we're given some data and they want to know which value corresponds to the 40th percentile. So first up, we are going to use our formula for percentiles. Remember, the percentile is equal to values below plus 0.5. It's the number of values below, divided by the total number, we'll call that n, and then we multiply by 100 to get it to be a percentile. So that's the formula that we need. And so another rule for percentiles is we have to have the percentiles, the data has to be in order from lowest to highest. And if we look at this, it already is in order from lowest to highest. 12, 28, 35, 42, 47, 49, and 50. We're already good to go there. So that's really nice. That's already done. So another thing I like to do is I like to number my numbers with an index. It makes it just a little easier. So this is the first number, the second number, the third number, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh. This makes it easier to see what we're supposed to do when it comes to using these. So let's go ahead and compute these. So the first percentile is going to be equal to the number of values below. So we're going to start with the number 12. Well, there's no values below 12, so that's just 0. Plus 0.5 over, and then we have 7 numbers total times 100. So that would be the first percentile, or the percentile rank that goes along with the 12. So moving up to the next one, we'd have 28. So that would be, well, there's one value below the 28. So we would have a 1 here, plus 0.5 divided by 7 times 100. And we would keep going each time increasing this number. We'd go up to 2, up to 3, up to 4, up to 5. And we would stop at 6, right? Because when we get to 7, that's the last one, and there's 6 values below 7. So we would stop when we get to 6. That would be the max. So let's go ahead and plug this into the calculator. So I'm going to type a fraction, and I'm going to do 1, or we're going to start with 0. 0 plus 0.5 divided by 7 times 100. And we get 7.14 percentile. That's the 7.14 percentile. So next up, we're going to copy this. We're going to now do the number 1, and we're going to go ahead and hit enter, and we get the 21st.43 percentile. And then we're going to go up, we're going to do 2. So you could write out every formula if you want to, but once you sort of see the pattern, and you could show this to your professor, you could write them all out if you want to. You can sort of just plug them into the calculator. It's a pretty quick process. So we got 35.71%. Now we're going to come up, we're going to go to 3, and we get 50%. Which makes sense because that's halfway, right? And then we're going to go to 4. We get 64.29%. I'm rounding to 2 decimal places. Your class, might round to some other value. 5. We get 78.57 percentile. And then finally, this is our last one, right? Because this would be the number 7, so there'd be 6 below. So 6 will be the last number we put in. We get 92.86 percentile. So these are the percentiles that each value corresponds with. So this would be this one's for 12, this one's for 28, this one's for 35, 42, 47, 49, and 50. So after we're done with this, they want us to find which value corresponds to the 40th percentile. So there's another formula we can use. That formula is if we take the percentile and we multiply it by n, and then we divide by 100, this is going to equal the rank, or the index. I like to call it the count because it's a C, so it's easy to remember. This is the count. The number is in red. So this will tell us which one of the numbers to use based on the percentile that we're given. And all we did is actually we just solved this formula, which I do in another video if you want to go to the previous video on percentiles and see how to derive it. So let's go ahead and plug in. So they say to use the 40th percentile. So the number we're going to use, C, this is the index, right? The count, one of these numbers here in red. Which one do we use? Well, C is going to be equal to 40 for the percentile. We have 7 numbers, and then we divide by 100. This is going to have C equal to, this is going to be 40 times 7. So 40 times 7. And then we divide by 100. And we get 2.8. The rounding rule, when C is not a whole number, is to always round up. So we round up to 3. If C was a whole number, say it was 3, then you would round up to 4 still, and you would take the third number and the fourth number, and you would add them together and divide by 2, if C was a whole number. But C in this case was not a whole number, so we just take the third number. So we come up to here, and we look for the third number, which is 35. So we say 35 corresponds to the 40th percentile. And that's it. If you have any questions about this, definitely feel free to drop a comment, subscribe, and hit that bell icon for future videos, and we'll catch you in the next problem.